The political elite have long believed themselves untouchable, too influential, too connected, and too deeply entrenched to ever face real accountability. Nowhere has this mindset been clearer than in South Africa's ruling circles. For decades, scandals have faded away, inquiries were announced only to drag on endlessly, and commissions produced little more than paper trails. In the end, very few of the powerful ever face consequences. But this time, something unprecedented is unfolding. Reports suggest that international systems of justice have stepped in. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of Paul Mashatile, and if the charges prove true, they could completely upend what South Africans thought they knew about the African National Congress, ANC, and its inner machinery. Mashatile is accused of serious crimes, large-scale financial misconduct, money laundering, and racketeering linked to a sprawling network of shady deals stretching from South Africa into the Middle East and even parts of Europe. Rumors of hidden wealth, offshore properties, and dubious foreign ties have haunted him for years. Now, those whispers are consolidating into hard evidence. What once began as quiet talk in diplomatic corridors has transformed into an open secret in political backrooms. Foreign investigators, particularly from Switzerland and the United Arab Emirates, have been quietly building their case for months. Their focus, it is said, is on a secret ANC-linked fund allegedly used to launder millions through offshore accounts, luxury real estate, and shell companies tied directly to Mashatile and his inner circle. The sheer scale of the investigation, coupled with the fact that it is being managed by international authorities, points to corruption that far exceeds domestic politics. Within the ANC, the scandal has exposed a brutal reality. The party that once prided itself on discipline and unity is now openly tearing itself apart. Internal disputes that once stayed hidden are spilling into public view. Factions are leaking sensitive documents, exposing rival secrets, and even allying with outside actors. Mashatile's potential fall could well be the greatest betrayal from within yet. Insiders at Luthuli House revealed that the foreign warrant did not appear out of thin air. Some suggest it may have been accelerated by senior ANC figures, possibly allies of President Ramaphosa, looking to weaken Mashatile's growing political clout ahead of the 2026 elections. The timing seems deliberate. Was his own party complicit in pushing investigators over the edge? Others frame it more bluntly: revenge. Mashatile, long seen as a frontrunner for the presidency, has alienated many through his growing influence over provincial appointments, lucrative tenders, and funding allocations. Admired by some but feared by many, his grip on power made him a dangerous rival. For those who wanted him gone, the international warrant might be the perfect weapon to destroy his ambitions. But this case cannot be brushed aside. The charges are international for a reason. The alleged corruption tied to Mashatile spans far beyond South Africa's borders. Investigators claim ANC-affiliated companies funneled illicit funds through Dubai, London, and Geneva, disguising transactions via charities and shell corporations. These were not small, backroom exchanges, they were sophisticated financial maneuvers designed to move millions undetected across jurisdictions. Among the most damning pieces of evidence is said to be a recorded conversation between Mashatile and a foreign banker. In the tape, they reportedly discuss strategies for concealing assets and managing risks should South Africa undergo a change in leadership. If authenticated, this recording could be the smoking gun, not only against Mashatile but also against several senior ANC members implicated in the wider probe. For the first time, the evidence may be pointing directly into the highest levels of government. Interpol is now said to have flagged Mashatile for warning, and extradition negotiations are reportedly being discussed behind closed diplomatic doors. If confirmed, this would mark the first time in South Africa's democratic era that a sitting deputy president faced an international criminal probe of such gravity. The precedent would shake not just the ANC, but the entire continent. Strangely, while the scandal erupts, Mashatile himself has remained silent. No press conferences, no social media posts, not even a formal denial. His office only issued a vague statement claiming no knowledge of any international legal proceedings. Yet off the record, insiders say he is scrambling, hiring top lawyers, calling in favors, and pressing every diplomatic connection to suppress or delay the warrant. President Ramaphosa's silence has been equally notable. Is he distancing himself from his deputy, waiting to see if the allegations hold, or secretly involved in managing the crisis? No one can say for certain. One fact, however, is beyond doubt: this issue is far bigger than Mashatile alone. The warrant has exposed a deeper, more entrenched web of corruption, patronage, and illicit cash that cuts to the heart of the ANC's post-apartheid governance. For years, South Africans lived with rumors. Now there are names, documents, and potentially imminent legal action. Even the ANC's own reports have admitted to ethical failures, declining public trust, and a desperate need for reform. But Mashatile's case may have arrived too late to save credibility. Once the gates are open, the question becomes, who else knew? Who approved the schemes? And who profited? South Africans are demanding answers tonight. The nation is staring once again into the abyss. The last time the country faced a crisis this deep, years of commissions and trials followed, often with little real accountability. Yet now, the circumstances feel different. The world is watching closely. The charges are precise. The evidence appears credible. And Mashatile's silence is louder than words. If this moment signals the dawn of genuine accountability, it could mark a new chapter in South Africa's democracy, a chapter where political office no longer shields leaders from justice. But if the ANC attempts to bury this scandal, as it has so many before, the damage could be irreparable. The stakes are monumental. Should South Africa allow the warrant to play out under international scrutiny, it could set a powerful precedent for global accountability. It might prove that even in countries where corruption runs deep, justice can still reach the very top.